Hey guys and girls, how's it going, and welcome back to another episode of Crash Landing with myself, Lewis. Hope you're brilliant, have yourself a great day. As always, we are back inside my underground smelting ore production area of amazingness, and I've been doing some work. Pretty much just making things look nice again. That seems to be what I do off camera. I make things look nice. We mess things up during it. We pull things apart and rip bits here, there and everywhere. And then when I have some free time, I come along and I just get out my little wand and I snazz it all up. So all I've done is I've gone around with this guy. I love these little things. Where is it? There it is. My cobalt chisel. And I've chiseled a load of bricks to make it look a little bit fancy. So it looks a little bit nicer now than it did before, all the things hanging out everywhere. And we've put our thing down there so that I can easily get to the lava when I need to. And I did the same in here, so I made these bricks look a little bit fancier as well. I moved the high oven up slightly, so now we've got full area to do all of our smeltage. And we've still got all the iron in here that hasn't done anything yet. 588 ingots worth of iron just sat in there, waiting to be used. And that's practically it. I made a small thermal expansion area down here, but I didn't bring all the machines down here because upstairs we have got an area dedicated to thermal expansion, so I didn't really want to bring it all down here. And I've just been cooking away some nether quartz, pulverizing that, making some silicon. We've got some fluxed electrons, some bits. Oh, I didn't put enough in there. But we got all that stuff in there, and we're going to be using that today to make some applied energy sticks because we're going to automate all of this ore. It's time to do it. It's time to automate ore, get loads of good stuff, and just make life so much easier. Now, I've already made my ME controller, so I'm going to kind of rush through this because most people have seen applied energy sticks before, the whole kind of starting up side of it, but I want to go through bits of it just for you guys that haven't seen it. So the first thing you're going to need is an ME controller, which is this guy here. With the ME controller, this is the brain of your network. You have to have one of these, and that's pretty much that. That's all it does. You can connect a wireless receiver to it, but except for that, it just tells you how much energy you've got stored in there, how much you're using, and as you add parts to it, it'll show you what's using how much power and bits and bobs, and you can change them down to look at different things. So we can have MJs, we can have EU, we can have joules, watts, AE, which is the actual power units it uses. You can do that, so that's pretty much that. But we're going to need something to be able to store all of the information that we need. So when we put items into our AE network, it's going to get changed into matter, get changed into energy, and it's going to get stored as bytes on disks. And then we can use that material energy, matter energy, to move it around and put it in different places. Now, to do that, we're going to need some cells, some storage drives. So let's have a look at applied energy sticks. There we go. Now we need these guys, so these ME16, 1K, 64K, 4K storage cells are going to hold all the information that we need. But we're going to need a place to put these as well. Now we could make a storage box, but I really don't want to do that. So I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to make ourselves, let's have a look. We're going to grab ourselves one of these guys, an ME drive. Now, the recipes in this have slightly changed for some of the bits, so the basic and the advanced processors are a little bit different. They require PCBs, or the PRCs, to be made. So I've got a few of those, and I've got some redstone and bits. I've actually made a separate pouch just for applied energy sticks right here. So I went around, I grabbed a load of resources, and I chucked it all in there. So I threw a load of gold, iron, nether quartz. We've got tons of that stuff now, loads of Surt quartz. I made a load of fluix dust because that's not that expensive, and some crystals and bits, and I threw some of my PRCs in there. So I think we've got most of the bits that we need, and the pistons and the sticky pistons are going to be used for bringing in items and sending out items, which is kind of cool. Another thing that I've got, if you haven't already realised, I have a full dinner with me today. I thought it would be nice. So we have some fries, we have a deluxe cheeseburger, and strawberry smoothies, my favourite dinner of all time. I'm also doing a small experiment over the next few episodes, so you might see some weird items in my inventory while I walk around. Naming the gelid cryophium in a bucket is today's experiment, and I think it's working fairly well. You can see, look at my heat bar, it's right down there. If I remove this, it shoots straight back up. Put it back on again. Straight back down. How cool is that? And obviously we know that further it's down, the less amount of water that you drink, and you don't get as hot, so you don't have to suffer from any of that stuff. Even when we're outside, like around here, you can see that it's not. It's kind of, it's like we're in the shade. But if I take it away, it shoots straight back up to full again. So We want to try and keep this as far down as we possibly can. It still goes straight up to the top when we get near any of the machines and bits and bobs like that, but that's unavoidable. So that's just the way that goes. Alright, so let's get going. I did try ice and snow, and they actually had no effect at all. So we're going to go with this. Maybe I'll try snow at another point, but for now, this seems to be working perfectly. The main test is to see if I actually get too cold that I start fumbling, and I really do not want that to happen. So, if we're going to make one of these, we're going to need a few bits. Let's have a look. So we're going to need to make ourselves an ME drive. We're going to need some basic processors, which means we need redstone, we need silicon, we need all of these bits. So let's grab some redstone, and we'll grab some silicon, and we need some basic ones of these, and we should be able to throw all of this together. I can't remember if you can shift click in these guys yet. I don't think you can you? No. Or it might be because we've got the processors. I think the processors don't like being shift clicked into here. There we go. Cool beans. And then the advanced ones need the PR300s to be able to make those. So there's those guys, and then we're going to need some glass, some iron, and a chest. Nice and easy. Let's get a chest. There we go. And I think I have some glass inside my building bag. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're going to take all this out, and I'm going to put this inside my AE bag for the time being. I think, yeah, it's probably going to work better. So we'll grab that, and did I put my AE one away? I did. So there's some iron, and that should do the trick. Bam. Cool. One ME drive. And that guy is going to sit... where do I want to just sit? Probably like there. Cool. So that's going to do that. Now we need to actually put one of these storage cells in it. Now I think what I'm going to make is a 16. It's fairly expensive, and the one thing that I really don't like about applied logistics, even though it's amazing, is making these guys. Because until you have an auto construction chambery guy, an auto kind of crafting guy, making these is a nightmare because it's just such a boring recipe. But you know, you just got to kind of go with it. So we got to make 1,000,000 of these 1K storage cells, and then we will make a 4K, which will need the storage segments, and then each storage segment requires 3 storage cells, and each storage cell for the 16K requires a storage block, which is 3 of those, and such and such. So maybe we'll, actually I don't know, maybe we'll make a 4K, because I don't actually think I have enough of these guys to make all of those. But I'm going to go and do that, guys, and we will be right back. Alright then, so I've got one of these guys. I ended up making a 4K storage cell because the other one was just going to be way too expensive, and I didn't have enough of the PRCs to be able to make it, so we'll have to go with that for the time being. But we can pop that in there, and we know it's working because we've got the little green light, which means it's great, it's got power. And now if we have a look inside our ME controller, we'll see that we've got one of these ME drives currently in use, which is changing my AE per tick to 9. Which is great because we've got millions of powers, so we're all good. So now that we've got storage, we need to start sending things to different places, which is, you know, that's the fun bit. So we're going to want to grab stuff from here, and we're going to send it into our ME drive, which is probably the better way of doing it. And a good way of doing this is going to be to use an import bus. Now let's have a look at making an import bus. So that's going to be the main thing. Now, to make a precision import bus, we need that, but we're probably just going to go with a basic import bus. Now, to make one of these, we need an ME interface, and for that, we need a conversion matrix. Conversion matrices need ME basic processors. Oh my lord, the amount of these guys that I'm going to use, I'm going to run out so quick. I've got like 11, so it's not all that bad. Oh, hello there, you. Yeah, it's not all that bad, but it's still a fairly decent amount. I'm going to eat some fries, actually. Yummy. You know, we're going to take 3. No. 5. Yeah. We'll go with 5. That should do the trick. Cool beans. Alright, so we got all of these. Brilliant. Let's make one of these guys. So we wanted to make one of these. We need a ME interface. We need some conversion matrix. So we need a load of iron. We need a load of fluic dust. We need Circe quartz. And we basically need a bit of everything. So I'm just going to take one of these. Let's grab some Circe quartz, some fluics. We've got that stuff out, haven't we? Some redstone. Certus, and pistons. We're just going to grab it all. There we go. Right, we should be able to make this guy. So, it's one of these to start with. So we need that. We need our silicon. Whoa, the only thing I didn't grab was silicon. Alright, we need that. We need those. Brilliant. Now we need to make one of these. You see what I mean about how this is kind of a... it takes a fair bit of time to make all these, but once you've made them, it's not that bad. We only need some ME cables, so we'll make a load of those. We're actually going to need tons of these, so I might even just whip out a load. Although I need some glass later on, so we'll save that for the time being. I'll make a load of these off camera. So that's going to do that, and then we can make a an ME interface. Then it's this guy and poof, basic import bus. So we're going to import the stuff probably from here and going straight into our ME drive. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this to items in, which is basically the main thing that I need. And hopefully that is going to work. Let's set this to, yeah, receive only mode, items in, and we'll set the other one later to send items out. So this is basically, I've set this up so that we can have everything going into this Tesseract and coming out via here, which is good. Now, the other thing that we're going to need to make is a way to monitor the stuff that's inside our system, because we currently haven't got that. And one of those guys is probably going to be a storage monitor, although I was thinking of making a crafting monitor. It's not that much different because we just need a storage cell and an ME access terminal, so it's probably going to be better to make one of those. But the access terminal is going to require these bits here, so it's another one of those, such and such. So I'm going to go and craft all the other bits that I need, guys, so we can get on with the actual, you know, meat and potatoes of making all of it. Instead of doing crafting recipes the whole episode, I'm going to go and make a few bits, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I think I have all the bits that I need to get this working. I have made my ME crafting terminal. I've changed this around slightly because I actually want some buffer area. Now, because we're using a 4K storage cell and we have kind of an infinite amount of stuff coming into the system, the chances are it's going to get clogged up eventually. So I would like a kind of back end for all that stuff to get clogged up into so I can sort it out. So I'm going to throw some chests down. Now these chests are basically going to be our input chests, our back end input chests, and all of the information and stuff that goes into these, all of the bits and bobs, is going to get changed and sent into our inside our ME drive, our 4K storage cell. You can see we're currently using 47 out of 4096 bytes on these. Now, items use different amounts of bytes, but the main thing to remember is that you have types. So for each 4K or any of the storage cell types, they have 63 types. So you can only have 63 different types of items in there. So charcoal would take 1, if we had birch that would take 2, and such and such. But I've been automating my charcoal so that we can make a load of well, we can get a load of fuel, can't we? Now let me show you this actually, because this is a pretty cool, I like this little thing over here that I made. It's pretty small, but it works nicely. So over this way, over in here we are. I have a couple of outputs coming from these two here, going into a redstone furnace underneath there, which is just here, smelling into charcoal, and then going into these two barrels. And this barrel is just filling up so that we have a spare amount of charcoal in case, you know, we ever need it. And this one here is coming out again, going into this chest. And then once there are 9 bits of charcoal in there, it gets sent into this auto packager and comes out on this side as a block of charcoal and then goes into the system. That's pretty much it. Nice and simple. Eventually, we'll probably do it all for applied energistics, but, you know, the auto packager is actually a really cool little thing. The chances are we're probably going to use this in this build so that we can make all of the ores go in a load nicer. But let's at least set this one up. So I'm thinking we need to do this kind of around here somewhere. So let me get some glass so that we can do this, and we're going to dig into his, because this is the one that we're going to send all the stuff from first, because, you know, this is the dusts, which is very important. Now I want to go up this way, so let's go up here. There we are. And we're going to disconnect this because we're no longer going to be having the stuff coming out of here. Where's my thermal expansion bag? And there we go. Cool, cool. So, yeah, we're going to disconnect this because we don't want that anymore. And we're going to grab this stuff. And I'm going to grab those guys that just fell in there. There we go. Cool, cool. Alright, so that's going to go out into this crystal chest. And this is going to basically be our buffer in case anything goes horribly wrong. And then here, let's put down a item duct. Like that. And we'll put in a servo. Set our servo to output. There we go. Cool, cool. And I think around here I should have another Tesseract. Let's have a look. Yes. Good stuff. And this one can go here. Nice. So this one's going to go to items in. And let's set this to item send mode. Get rid of those. There we go. So all that stuff's going to come out of this chest. It's going to go into our Tesseract and then go to the items in area, which is going to go to our AE network, which is awesome. Exactly as we want it. Let's put you back up. So now if we go down here, we should see all of that coming into our system. Yes, very nice. And, you know, we need to make sure that this is doing its thing, and it is, which is, you know, that's fairly nice. So now that we've got that, we need to configure our high oven to accept all of this stuff. And we're going to do this by going underground because, you know, we want to try and make sure we keep everything nice. And one thing that sucks about applied energistics is it doesn't work with the multi-block, so you can't put like covers and things on there. So we want to try and minimize the amount of wires going in now as we can, because I have been trying to use the you know, the covers and the hollow covers and things as much as I can. And I got no idea where this goes. Not a clue. Well, that looks like it's going outside. Is that going outside? Where are we? I should probably measure it this way before we just start digging away. Yeah. Well, that's taken me to here. So we're actually fairly close. Let's go this way, because I think the smeltery is literally just in here. Yes! Oh my god, that was some brilliant guesswork. Alright, so if we're going to have that come from there, we're probably going to have the cables come out of here. And we've already dug to there, so we want to dig down here. There we are. Cool. Nice. Alright, so we're going to have all the stuff coming through here, which is going to be brilliant. Now, somewhere down the line, we're going to want the stuff to get auto-packaged, because we don't want the stuff to just instantly go in there, do we? The only thing that we can have there going in there at the minute is going to be the charcoal, so we can set that one up now. So let's go in here and get out our ME cables. I'm hoping I have enough. Like, I've made a fair few of these, but I'm really hoping that we have enough. So we're going to have this come along here. And going this way into here. Let's get rid of you guys. Cool, cool. And we're also going to want a certain type of bus in here. We're going to want a export bus because we're exporting from the system. So we're going to have the first thing being, ooh, actually, I could really do with making another one of these little ducts, because we're actually going to have 3 things coming and going, aren't we? So let's make, oh no, is that not it? Scorched drain, fluid input and output, no. Oh my lord, which one is it? Scorched duct. Ah, there we go. All right. Cool. So that's going to do that. And we'll pop this one just around here somewhere, I guess. Let's put it there. Cool. So this one's going to be set for fuel going in. And we remember that the fuel is that little symbol there. So we'll set this one to that on here. There we go. And on this one, we're going to put a import or an export bus, because we're going to be exporting from the system. We're going to use a precision export bus so that I can monitor it a little bit more closely. Let's get some charcoal from in here. Cool, cool. And we're going to tell this guy to move that. And redstone mode is active with signal. Always active. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. And we'll move it in, move single items. That's fine. Cool beans. So that's going to do that. Let's bring this guy up around here. Cool beans. And we should find loads of charcoal going in there. Good stuff. Alright. So that's going to export the charcoal into here. Now we need to set up the other parts. So I'm going to go make myself an auto packager for our dusts. And we will be right back to get the dusts and the exporting of the slag. Because no one likes slag. Alright, see you in a bit. So we're going to grab every one of these ores. And we're just going to grab one of each of them so that we can set this to work nicely. So we'll grab all of these guys. That's 1, 2, 3. That's a fairly decent amount, actually. And we're going to go take these downstairs into our auto packager. Yes. So I could have done this in multiple ways. We could have actually done this fully with applied logistics, but these auto packagers are really handy and they're fairly cheap. So we're going to use this guy. Now, I wanted to hook it closest to a power network so we didn't have to have many cables flying around all over the place. And this area is already looking slightly cluttered, so just sticking it down here out of the way, we've got a cable coming up here, is going to do the trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a chest here, and I'm going to put a chest here, like so. And we're going to have a export bus coming out of the system, but we're going to have to use a precision export bus for this. So this guy's going to go here, and then we're going to put this onto here. But what I want to do as well is I want to set this to have each one of these types. So we're going to send all of these into here. There we go. Oh man, we're lucky enough to just have enough space as well. So they're going to go into there, all of the bits and bobs that we have. So let's put that like that. There we go. And what we should find is as the stuff goes in here, it will get pulled into the auto packager and then go into here. The only thing that I'm slightly worried about is... No, it's working fine. There we go. The only thing I was a little bit worried about is if it will work with iron chest, but it looks like it's working just fine. So they're going to get auto-packaged and turned into these. If there isn't 8 or 9 in there, or 4 even, because it's 4 of these, isn't it? If there isn't 4 in there, it won't package it, so they're just going to stay in there. But this is going to make them all into these bits and bobs for us, which is brilliant. And then from here, we're going to want it to import back into the system. There we go. So all of that's going to come out of there. It's going to go around. Basically just going to do a turnaround. And you can see what I mean, that we could have had this closer to over there, but to be honest, I want to try and keep it as neat as possible. So that's going to do that. That's going to go in there, and we're going to now start having the ore blocks in there, which is perfect. And now we're going to want to send the ore blocks out again. So we're going to want to send them into our smeltery. And our ingot area is right here. So we're going to have another one of these export buses. We'll use another precision export. Have we got precision export? We have. Brilliant. So we're going to have this guy here. There we go. And this is going to move our dust for us. So let's see if we've got one of all the dust. So we've got you. Actually, let's pop all those in there. Actually, there we go. Good stuff. So we got one of those. There we go. We got one of those, 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 and what one are we missing? We're missing some lead. Oh no, we've got you. Oh, it's jumping around all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Brilliant. So these are going to get pulled out now. They're going to go into here. So let's put this as this. There we go. And we should have these now start going into here. Brilliant. Now, there is only 6 places, but, you know, that's fine, because once it's cooked out, it'll change it around anyway. And as those smelt up like 1,000,000 miles per hour, that's then going to get sent out there, and it's going to go into here like such. And we can see that they're not turning into alloys either, which is brilliant. So the gold and the silver aren't mixing into electrum or anything like that, which is great, because that's exactly what I don't want to happen. So now that stuff's going into there through this, we need to get it back into the system, and it's pretty much straightforward, plain sailing from here. So we're going to need to grab ourselves some of these. Let's go get some of these guys. There we go. Some casting tables. Brilliant. We're also going to want some ingot casts, so we'll grab 2 of these. Brilliant. Let's bring them back around this side. And these are going to get changed into these for us. So we'll have one here and one here. Good stuff. We're also going to want to go down, because we're going to want to be able to get it back to the system again, aren't we? So let's bring it down a couple. There we go. And I'm also going to want to be able to get out of it. So let's just knock this away for the time being. There we go. See with the messing stuff up and then me making pretty later? Yeah, that's just the way it goes. So now that we've got those, let's put our casting tables down. We'll put one there and one there. And I'm going to need to clear my inventory, so let's go and put some of this stuff inside here again. This is always the way with applied logistics. You end up with so much random stuff on you. Right, so we got this stuff. Let's put our ingot cast down. There we go. So one there, one there. We're going to want ourselves some thermal expansion goodies. So let's get ourselves some fluiducts. Cool, cool. Put one there and one there. And we're going to want these to output. And we're going to want some levers. I wonder if I can put lever on there. Near. But I can put them there. Bam! Cool, cool. So that's going to go in there. It's going to change into its ingot for us, which is brilliant. And now we're going to want the stuff to go back into the system again. So we're going to do this with just some regular import buses, I think. They don't need to be precision of any type. So we're just going to use some of these, some basic import buses. And we're going to pull them from the bottom. Cool. And now we want to make it over to here. So this is where it gets a little bit messy. But I think we've got it. So we're going to want to bring it around to roughly here. So if I go down, haha, alright, so there's that. And does this go straight over that way? It does. Cool, cool. And let's do this. Oh man, I'm getting myself stuck right in here now, aren't I? No escaping. Alright. Let me out. Alright. So, yes, we have iron ingots. Brilliant. So it's working. That is it. Bam. Automated orage of storage. And although we have to make our way through the millions amount of iron that we've got in there first, so I guess that's going to be one thing. But eventually, you know, it's going to sort itself out. It's going to look pretty nice, I think, once it's looking a little bit fancier. I have to go around and try and make this, try and sort out all the holes that I've put in the ground. There we go, do that. Cool, cool. And we can't do that one, unfortunately, just because of the way that this works. But we can place these kind of back around here again. And this black stuff, let's do that. Cool, cool. Nice. Oh, there's actually still one last thing that we need to do. That reminds me. Yeah, we're going to need to... We're going to need to go ahead and we're going to need to grab ourselves... Actually, that's kind of strange that we didn't have any ores in there just then. But I think they're smelting so fast that you can pretty much not even see them going in there. Because we got all these guys here, which is great. Yeah, we can see stuff going around. Good stuff. And we got like an absolute ton of things in here now, which is good. So I want to go ahead, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fancy this up just a tad to get it looking a little bit nicer. And we'll make sure that everything's fairly functioning. Yeah, we've got all the good stuff going in here, all of these guys, which is great. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go and fancy this up, guys, and we'll be right back to have a last look. Shall see you in a moment. So there was one last thing that we needed to do before this was going to function really efficiently. And the main thing was to put another bus on there. So I've had to, if I get rid of this, I believe it's here. Let's have a look. Which one's this? Yeah. I've put a import bus in here. Now, it doesn't have to be a precision one. I'm only using a precision one because it's all I had left. I haven't got a regular bus on me. But you just need an import bus. And if you pop that onto this one with this little thing here, this little symbol, this is basically your output. So anything... any like rubbish that it makes, so sometimes when you're smelting iron there's a chance of making slag. The slag will be instantly taken out and sent back into your network, which is good because we can use the slag later on in things like the induction furnace and such, so it is pretty handy to have some of that. But that's what we do with that. So now we don't have to worry about this getting clogged up in any way. It's going to work just fine, and there is really no way of making these covers look pretty, but I think that's as much as I'm going to be able to do. I was thinking of adding these on the corners because I think they look really cool like that. I think that looks pretty funky. Yeah, nice. I've been doing it along here as well because I want to try and hide these, and these are a nightmare to hide, but I think it's looking okay. Now it's not just going to be a bottom part. This is going to come all the way up, I think. So it's all going to be encased. I think that's going to look better because at the minute it just looks really fat at the bottom. We're going to bring it up so that it doesn't look so fat. But I need to have a play around to get it right. But at least everything's working now. So we've got 290 iron in there so far, which is good. This iron is slowly making its way down because I still got 300 ingots worth in there. But at least we're starting to stock up on like gold, iron, aluminium, lead, silver. all that good stuff. It's going in here, it's doing its thing, it's smelting up. And because we've got a full amount of coal in there, and it's at 4,500 degrees, it smelts so fast. Like, so fast. Which is great. So there we go, guys. We now have our ore in the bag. The only other thing that I would like to do is sort out these areas here, because this is still all that's not being used. So we're probably going to sort something out with these guys. Maybe have these going into our other smeltery, so they can just kind of get backed up in there. So we don't have to worry about them, you know, it just goes in there, it all kind of mixes together. And the good thing with having it mixed together is it means that we will, over time, get ourselves a load of alloys as well. So yeah, I guess the side of things that I don't like about Tinker's Construct could actually work in our favour, because we're getting all the regular non-alloy metals from the steelworks. We could have all the mixtures and bits and bobs in the other one, and, you know, over time they'll accumulate a decent amount of alloys for us. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this one and this one go into the other Tinker's one, because I don't really need to think about having these smashed up. We could use things like auto smashers and whatnot, terrain smashers and all that good stuff, but I really, it just seems like too much hassle. But we'll stick with this. I do need to move all this down though, so I'm going to have to get rid of these barrels, move them downstairs, and empty them into the A network. But except for that, we are sorted. So there we go, guys. That is some automation with our applied energy sticks. Yes. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, I urge you to subscribe for some more awesome content. Have yourself a great day. Have a good one, as always. And goodbye.